Hello, this is Elizabeth Ashton, and welcome to the very first podcast of my Are You Mad series. I have a very special guest, Mr. MERVANT VERA. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hey, what's up, guys? My name is MERVANT VERA. Some of you guys probably know me from America's Got Talent. I'm a magician and a freestyle rapper. So I make music and I do magic. I put them together to create interesting presentations.
Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah. And I had a question for you. So what from your childhood shaped the charismatic performer you are today? Because you are very charismatic.
Yeah, that's interesting. I think growing up, there you go. I think growing up, I was really into acting. So my parents always kind of had the acting thing going on. I grew up in Philly, so we used to go to New York. I went on auditions and things like that. After a while, that kind of fell off, and I think I was just like a charismatic person just throughout life. I would thinking back to my youngest years, I used to draw pictures and be like, "Hey, Mom, look at the picture,"
wow.
and she put it on the fridge or something like that. I think that's where it starts, but it's something that I've had to develop too, because I used to be actually a super nervous person.
Well, a lot of actors and performers, I feel like they have told me that they're very introverted, but then acting kind of brought them out of their shell.
That's funny. So for me, I used to play basketball in middle school and high school, and when I got to college, I found theater, and I just felt really comfortable there. It felt it was always the joke I always make is like Zac Efron, High School Musical. I went from being more of a sports guy to finding this theater world where everyone seemed so special and unique, and something about it led me towards that, and I think that's where I really started getting more comfortable.
It was just your path, right? And so it just kind of slowly developed.
It seems like
settled
it. It
into who you are meant to be today.
Yeah.
We met at a real a private party, and I feel like this was meant to be because you kind of did the act on me for some reason, and so I was able to see the act firsthand, personally. So that was really amazing to witness. And so what inspires your magic acts?
That's interesting. So when I first started in magic. And I think a lot of people are like this. When you first start in something, you kind of emulate someone else. I think the first person I saw who did magic that was oh my gosh, I got to try this, was David Blaine.
Oh.
Which is interesting because David Blaine's performing here in town now too, right? It's crazy to be thinking about performing along the strip with David Blaine. But watching David Blaine do card tricks, and I remember he would do street magic, so he'd be in the middle of New York City doing card tricks, and it was something about that I could relate to because it wasn't magic on stage. It was just out in the street, just random. Yeah.
So do you feel like you do better more in the moment, not as planned out, or are you more spontaneous by nature?
Oh, that's interesting. I think it's a mixture of the two. So in the show here at AGT Superstars, it's a mixture of freestyle rap and magic. And rapping is something that there's obviously written raps, and then there's freestyles, which are a little more rough, and with magic it's kind of the same thing. There's written magic, and then there's freestyled magic. You just kind of.
What do you feel is more your element? When do you feel more in your element?
I think somewhere in the middle.
Okay.
I don't like being too scripted, and I don't like being too loose that there's no path.
Okay, good, because I was trying to figure out how what direction to take this podcast, and it kind of seems like this is a little both.
Well, it's almost magic to me is more like stand-up comedy.